Franz Kafka was born in 1883 in Prague, which was part of Austria-Hungary at the time, and is now in the Czech Republic. His family was Jewish, and Kafka grew up in a time when there were many challenges for Jewish people in Central Europe. His father was a businessman who often criticized Kafka, and their relationship was not very good. Kafka's mother was more kind, but Kafka often felt misunderstood by both of his parents. He was a sensitive and quiet person, and this made him feel like an outsider in his own family. He had a hard time feeling comfortable with other people, and he often felt very alone. As a young man, Kafka went to the German university in Prague, where he studied law. This was a practical choice for him, as law would allow him to find a good job and earn a steady income. After finishing his studies, Kafka worked for an insurance company. He did not like his job, but he did it because it gave him financial security. During the day, he worked in an office, but at night he would write. Writing was his true passion, but it was not something he could easily share with others. He often felt that his writing was not good enough, and that people would not understand it. Even though Kafka worked hard, he struggled with many personal problems, including health issues and feelings of anxiety. He often felt that his life was full of confusion, and that he had no control over it. In his free time, Kafka read many books and wrote stories, plays, and letters. He had a small group of friends, and one of the most important was a man named Max Brod. Brod was also a writer, and the two men had many long discussions about life and literature. Kafka trusted Brod, and the two of them often exchanged letters, sharing their thoughts on life and art. Kafka's writing was very different from what was popular at the time. He wrote about difficult topics such as alienation, fear, and the search for meaning in life. His stories often showed characters who were trapped in strange situations, unsure of how to escape. These themes made Kafka's work stand out, but they also made it difficult for people to understand. Kafka was often uncertain about the meaning of his own writing, and he sometimes destroyed his work because he thought it was not good enough. One of Kafka's most famous stories is Multiplied by the Metamorphosis Multiplied by. In this story, a man named Gregor Samsa wakes up one morning to find that he has turned into a giant insect. At first, Gregor is confused and frightened, but soon he realizes that he cannot go back to his normal life. His family is shocked and confused by his transformation, and they begin to treat him as though he is no longer a person. They lock him in a room and feed him scraps of food. Gregor becomes more and more isolated, and his family becomes more distant. The story shows how quickly people can turn away from someone who is different, and how easily they can forget about the feelings and humanity of others. Gregor's transformation is a metaphor for how people can feel trapped in their lives, unable to communicate or connect with those around them. Another well-known work of Kafka's is Multiplied by the Trial Multiplied by. In this story, a man named Joseph K. is suddenly arrested by mysterious men. He does not know why he is being arrested, and he is never told what crime he has committed. Despite being told that he is guilty, Joseph K. never gets any explanation or reason for his arrest. He goes through many strange and confusing legal procedures, but nothing ever makes sense. The more he tries to understand what is happening to him, the more lost he feels. The story is a powerful commentary on the way society can make people feel small and helpless, especially when they are caught in a system they do not understand. Kafka's portrayal of bureaucratic systems, where people are treated like numbers or problems instead of individuals, is one of the key features of his work. Many of Kafka's stories are filled with strange, dream-like events. These events often leave readers feeling uneasy, as they seem to reflect the confusion and uncertainty of the human experience. Kafka's writing is often difficult to understand, but this is part of its power. His stories make people think about their own lives and the way they experience the world. Kafka does not give easy answers, and this makes his work more complex and thought-provoking. The sense of fear, isolation, and uncertainty that appears in his stories is something that many readers can relate to even today. One reason Kafka's writing has remained popular is that it speaks to universal feelings of fear and alienation. In a world where people often feel disconnected from each other, Kafka's stories remind us that we are not alone in our confusion and struggles. His characters, despite being in very unusual situations, are often dealing with the same problems that many people face in their everyday lives. They struggle with identity, family relationships, and the search for meaning. They feel lost in a world that does not seem to make sense, and they are often unable to find a way out. Despite all of this, Kafka's work is not entirely bleak. His stories often show the resilience of the human spirit, even in the face of great challenges. His characters may be lost, but they continue to search for answers. They may be trapped, but they do not give up. Kafka's writing is filled with a sense of sadness and longing, but it also shows the importance of trying to understand the world and our place in it. Even though Kafka himself was often unhappy, his writing is filled with deep insights into the human condition. After his death in 1924, Kafka's work became more widely known. His friend Max Brod, who was one of the few people who really understood Kafka, ignored Kafka's wishes to have his manuscripts destroyed. Instead, Brod published Kafka's work, and this helped to bring Kafka's stories to the attention of a wider audience. Since then, Kafka's stories have been translated into many languages, and they continue to be studied by readers and scholars all over the world. His influence on literature is huge, and many writers have been inspired by his unique style and themes. Today, Franz Kafka is considered one of the most important writers of the 20th century. His works are still widely read, and they continue to influence literature, art, and philosophy. His stories, although written nearly 100 years ago, still speak to the feelings and struggles of people today. The themes of isolation, fear, and the search for meaning in life are still relevant, and they continue to resonate with readers. Kafka's work challenges us to think deeply about our own lives and the world around us, and it reminds us that we are all searching for answers, even if those answers are not always clear. Through his writing, Franz Kafka continues to inspire people to question the world and their place in it, just as he did in his own life.